It's an honor to be here, and especially an honor to be invited on the International Holocaust Memorial Day. I will be sharing my screen, and yeah, just a second. Okay. I will keep the presentation this and will not put it on big screen because I will just jump between tabs. Today I'm going to talk about global approach local implementation in teaching and learning about the Holocaust through two projects that we as Zachor Foundation are members of and are the projects of the US Yeshua Foundation. It's called the Wilson Project, and also the other one is the IWalk program. The two are intertwined as well in a way, and you will see how, and I think it's quite exciting. Tali already introduced me. I work at Zachor Foundation, I think for 3 or 4 years now, and we are a kind of new member of ENCATE as well, and we are very proud to be members of ENCATE. Zachor Foundation is a Hungarian NGO. We develop teaching material, and these are all based around video testimonies of the US Yeshua Foundation. And we also deliver teacher training programs. We have an ever-growing network of teachers, and we reach out to thousands of children through our teacher network. So this is our foundation, and we are also the representatives of the US Yeshua Foundation in Hungary and Europe. So the activities that we developed are based on the video testimonies of the US Yeshua Foundation's Visual History Archive. You probably are all familiar with it. This is an archive which was funded by Steven Spielberg in the 90s. And it contains more than 55,000 life history interviews with primarily Holocaust survivors, also rescuers and other experienced groups of the Holocaust. But as you can see, there are multiple other collections available in the archive about different genocides and experiences of and survivors of genocides. There's also a brand new collection called the Contemporary Anti-Semitism Collection, in which we conducted interviews with experts of anti-Semitism and Holocaust studies, as well as people who nowadays experienced anti-Semitism in any ways. So these interviews are available in 41 languages and are from 62 countries. So it's quite a huge pool of primary sources that we are able to use in our teaching. And of course, you can also use the archive for research. So let's see the first part of this thing that I'm going to present to you. The Wilson Project is a brand new project of the US Yeshua Foundation, and it has 3 main pillars. The first pillar is a book called The Children of Willesden Lane, which was written by Mona Golombek and Lee Cohen. I will just in a bit talk about the book more in details, but this is a book of a Jewish survivor, the mother of Mona Golombek, who survived the Holocaust through the kinder transport and were rescued from Vienna and ended up in London, and who became a famous concert pianist. And her daughter Mona wrote this book of her mother's story, which is a quite fascinating book, including the power of music, which helped to survive Lisa and also her peers. So the entire project is based on the book. The book has an adult version for adult readers, and there is, you can see on the picture, the second one, which is for young readers, and this is what we deal with in teaching. So the second pillar of the project is a teacher guide, and actually it's multiple teacher guides because we target several age groups, and the newest and latest project is targeting the smallest of children from kindergarten till 6-7-year-olds. And that's a more special way of approaching the story. And of course, it's not reading and not only reading the book, but other things with which they can understand the context of this historical event and also the story of Lisa. So there's a teacher guide in English and in localized versions in Hungarian and German for now, but it's growing, so it will be translated and localized in different countries as well. The third pillar of the project is the online and digital activities on the iWitness platform. The iWitness platform is a digital educational platform of the US Zachor Foundation, and this is where you can find all the activities built around video testimonies. It's free to use, only a registration is required from teachers and students. So let's now see the book itself. So the book is titled The Children of Willesden Lane. The title is the address of the refugee home where Lisa Jura, the 14-year-old Holocaust survivor, ended up after the kinder transport and where she began her new life. So it's a universal story about, of course, bravery, but resilience and the music as a tool for survivor. And it's a story of how these orphan children helped each other survive, and how Lisa's power and her music helped not only her, but her friends and everyone around her, actually, in the orphanage and in this new life that they had to begin together. So she was a musical talent, and she had to leave Vienna. The story is that there were 3 sisters, and the family had to decide who to put on the kinder transport. You are, I'm sure, familiar with the kinder transport operation. Approximately 7,500 Jewish children were rescued through this operation. So the family had to decide who will go on the train, because they only had one spot on the train. And Lisa had a younger sister who was too young to leave alone, and also an older sister who was over 18, and she wasn't eligible. So they decided to put Lisa on the train, and of course, for every child, this was supposed to be a temporary goodbye from their families. However, most of their families were killed during the Holocaust, so they became orphans in a new country. I think it's very important also that we can draw a parallel to today's humanitarian crisis through the refugee experience, and introduce this to children through a book and through the story of Lisa. The book was published already in multiple languages. So we have a French, a Hebrew, a Spanish, an Italian, a German, a Polish, and a Hungarian translation already. And hopefully there will be more and more. In the project for now, we have Spanish localization, German, Polish, Hungarian, and Italian is on its way. So this is the globalized and localized aspect of the project. So the teacher guides, or the original teacher guide is targeting 10 to 15-year-olds. This helps students contextualize and understand the book. It has a multidisciplinary approach. It combines literature, which is the book itself, the testimonies of survivors, and music, and of course technology, since we are using the iWitness platform as a digital tool. And combining all these things would, we believe, that gives a very new shape to Holocaust education, a very brand new approach for teachers to be able to present it to their students, and also it's much more engaging for the kids as well. In the learning games, a few just to illustrate is to acquire the historical knowledge and develop their critical thinking skills, develop their empathy skills, and the historical thinking, and of course the music appreciation. The teacher guide I already mentioned was translated and adapted to Hungarian audiences and to German audiences, and hopefully it will be adapted more and more. So the teacher guide itself, I can also give you a glimpse on how it looks like. So it's quite long, but of course it can be adapted by the teachers themselves. It gives a lot of opportunities. As you can see, the content, the entire teacher guide breaks down the book to chapters, and you can follow based on the historical background, and each part of the guide will provide with a historical context, will provide testimony related to the part of the story and to the book, and these are testimonies from the BAJ archive. And then you would have, I will show you what else here. Yes, so you would have a related eyewitness activity, which you can try and use on the platform, and the related musical experience. And this is all played by Mona Golabek, the daughter of Lisa, who also herself became, I'm sorry, who also herself became, oh my God, how can I stop? Okay. So who herself became a concert pianist as well. And I will just quit, maybe that helps. Okay. And there is an appendix of the teacher guide in which you will find multiple other sources, such as student handouts. I will just quickly scroll down. So student handouts, you will find a glossary of events of the Holocaust. I'm sorry, I should have scrolled down there. You will find historical contextualization, which helps the teaching and learning of the events. You have a historical timeline. There is one platform as well for the historical timeline of the Holocaust, which helps the students become familiar with it. And also, you will find maps and all other resources, and also the biographies of the interviewees, which appear there. And then the third pillar is the eyewitness activities. There are four activities developed originally by the Zachor Foundation and are adapted and localized as I said, in Hungary, in Hungarian, in Spanish, in Polish, in German. And I think one very interesting thing is that it's also localized for UK students, since the language is also a bit different, but of course the curriculum is very different. So it means that they had to localize it. And I think it's very, very important and to see how these can be adapted to every curriculum in every country, if you will. So the three are activities, online activities. One is dealing with the music and the power of music, and in this one it's related to the book, and pieces of music are played by Mona, and through that students are able to understand the entire story. And the two other ones are about the Kindertransport experience. One is in general, the other one is related to the book. And the fourth one is virtual IWalk, and the IWalk is the next thing that I'm going to talk about before I introduce you to this very special new development on the eyewitness platform. Before I go to there, I want to introduce to you this localized pilot program that we launched in Hungary. The Hungarian translation of the book was published in September, and we started a pilot program in November, and we offer a package of educational package in which we include the availability of borrowing the book from us. So it's either borrowing or they can buy it with a discount. It's their decision. We provide it for the schools and the teachers who are participating in the pilot program. And we give access to the localized teacher guide. We, of course, support them and track their progress. And teachers are welcome to join anytime. We gave a platform for that on our website. So far, we have 8 teachers who are participating in the pilot program. And with this, we can reach almost 100 students because they work in smaller groups, not with entire classes. And on these 2 pictures, you can see one of the schools on the countryside who already finished piloting the program. And the project has its own page. And on this page, you will also be able to learn more about the project as well as the localized content. And here are the activities in each language, which are localized. And as you can see, there is the initiative to adapt it for primary education, so targeting young children as well. And this will also be adapted for in other languages. So this is the program page, and now I will jump to the iWalk program, and you will see how these 2 are related to each other. So the iWalk program itself is an interactive digital local history non-formal educational program. It has an application which you can download for free, and you can dive into it. And I would like to show you just a little bit on how it looks like, the original iWalks, and then we will go to the virtual iWalk, which is related to the Wilson project as well. So I will share my phone screen, just a second. So the iWalk program is an application on your phone, free to download, and you can see how many countries you can find it in already. It's available in multiple languages and in multiple countries. It's brand new that now we have Austria and Germany as well. These are not only local history iWalks in cities, but also in memorial places. For example, in Austria, we just published the Mauthausen Memorial iWalk. We also have 2 mini iWalks in Auschwitz and Birkenau. And in Hungary, we have the Shoes Memorial, where there is an iWalk. I want to show you one, which is in Luxembourg City, because the iWalk can also be completed virtually. So we learned that during the pandemic, this is something that can help teachers and students alike to learn about local history without having to go there. And we developed the Luxembourg iWalk. You can download it in 2 languages. We developed the Luxembourg iWalk in a way that there is a stop, which we called a virtual stop. So you don't have to go there. Even if you are in Luxembourg City, you can just stay where you are and visit the location only through your phone. So this was already an idea. How are we going to be able to create something which works virtually as well as on the spot? I would like to show you. So this is how the iWalk application looks like. You're on the spot. You will have a Google Maps thing that you will show you where you are and which are the stops that you should follow. And each iWalk has stops. It depends on the place, how many you want to include or not. And as you can see here, we created a stop which is called a virtual stop at the Luxembourg railway station. And you can also see on the map that it is quite far away. So we warned the participants that this stop is a virtual stop, so you don't have to go there, you just have to start to look at the place and the testimonies where you are. So here, each stop contains segments, we call them, and the segments will have background information, historical context, and also the testimonies which you can watch on the spot, and also questions which help the understanding of the context of the history and of the interviews. We also use archival photos, and when a location is a virtual location, we would definitely include the things that you would have to see on the spot in the application as well. So we piloted the phone application with the students during the pandemic, and it worked really fine. Since they can also give their answers, they can contemplate about what they see, what they learn, and there is a possibility at the end to discuss their ideas. So it works really fine. But then, sorry, let's now go back to the presentation. The idea was that the Wilson of Children Lane story is a story of the kinder transport, and this is obviously something which is not a walkable distance. So we came up with a virtual iWalk, and this is already available on eyewitness, so you all can see for yourselves. And you begin the walk, and you will see that it takes you through Europe from Vienna till London, where Lisa ended up. The structure of the virtual iWalk is very similar to the iWalk in the application. However, you can do it on your desktop, and it really helps us come over the distances which are otherwise completely impossible to walk through. So it's the same idea. You will have all the stops, and you start with the background information, and you also have the supporting questions, and also the place, the current space. So you can look around with the help of the Google Maps, and you will see how it looks like today. And there is always a comparison to the old times. So from where Lisa started her journey, and you can walk through the entire journey she had from Vienna until London. So yeah, I think actually I was really good with the time, and yeah, that's all I wanted to show you today. And your questions are very welcome. I hope it was easy to follow. Maybe it's a lot of information for once, but so this is our idea of global approach and local implementation.